Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, I'm a little bit late today, but I also have to force myself to stay awake, and I've been up since 3 a.m. because I'm working till 11 o'clock at night tomorrow. Hey, boy. Send help, all right? All right, to the disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. They did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused. You know the drill, folks. Please read the article and share on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever does actually see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1, when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to use your headphones. Trigger warning 2, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, folks, parental supervision is advised. All right, you know the drill and how all that works. So, to it, shall we? Okay. We're going to read the little bit that we missed out yesterday because that paragraph was already long. And I wanted to start this with a bit of sanity before we went into the stupid comments of another JRC Kool-Aid drinker, shall we? All right, so perhaps most revealingly, as JRC acknowledges in its comments, JRC is currently the only facility that uses ESDs for SIB or AB, and it uses ESDs on individuals from only 12 states. That being said, to the 12 states who are sending poor kids to this hellhole, I hope that when the parents get a full understanding of what this school gets up to, that they sue you back into the Stone Age. I want your grandchildren to owe them money. Okay? Because if you know what this place is, and if you've been in mental health circles or the neurodivergent circles, you know exactly who these people are, and you are still sending kids to this place. Yeah. You need to have any and all licenses and degrees yanked for you that allows you to be near children. That's all I'm saying. But moving on to the comments, shall we? A comment questions the FDA's reliance on expert reports for the proposed rule because the experts are vocal advocates for PBS and vocal critics against the use of ESDs. Oh my God, put down the crack pipe. But you just full advocates for this, and nobody, you're not listening to anyone who supports the use of these. That's because nobody else who works in the mental health field, nobody who works with us neurodivergent folks, no one even within the regular healthcare system supports your insanity, JRC. But you won't listen to anyone who does. That's because the only people who support it are you and your Kool-Aid drinkers. The rest of planet Earth see this for what it is. Okay? You find me an expert that is in no way connected to the JRC that actually agrees with this insanity. Point out one. One. And I don't mean a doctor from the 60s, 70s, 80s, or hell, even the 90s. I mean a current doctor who is known as an expert in this particular field. I want you to name that person. You can't. You legitimately can't. Okay? Because the only people who support the torturing of children that have disabilities is the JRC. The only doctors who support this madness are the doctors that the JRC pays. They are literally staff there. There is nobody that is outside the JRC's sphere of influence that agrees with this insanity. You have people who have beyond questionable actions when it comes to treating people like me who can legitimately stare the JRC down. Like Yale, who blasted radiation into our brains to make us not have so many behaviors. Those people refuse to do even so much as a clinical study on the device regards to risks versus benefits, citing ethical and humanitarian concerns. The people who shoot radiation into our brains, the new version of a frontal lobotomy, are stating ethical and humanitarian concerns. Yeah. About that, right? About that. Right? The comment argues that the FDA sought to bolster a particular view with the biased advocates rather than seeking information a more neutral way, and that the FDA did not similarly defer to the opinions of experts affiliated with the manufacturer. Do you not understand conflict of interest or confirmation bias? Why in the name of God are we going to give more weight to the doctors that the JRC pays as opposed to all the other experts that are within the medical model? You are not going to give the same weight to the doctors who are literally getting their paychecks from the JRC to have the same weight as a doctor who can be, to use your own words, objective. But they're biased and you're just advocates. Advocates. Yes, we're all just fiery little monsters and we just want to destroy the JRC because it's Tuesday and we're bored. Are you kidding me? JRC. The argument wasn't cute the first 10 billion times you used it. It's still not cute now and it's still not accurate. But you need to be neutral. The neutral, objective folks who have reviewed your treatment program have cited ethical and humanitarian concerns. These people aren't me, Karen. They don't have a chip on their shoulder the size of Texas because of having to deal with people like you. Okay? These people are absolutely 100% unaffiliated with the JRC. They have not a single dog in the fight. Explain to me, like I'm 5, exactly what benefit do they receive for speaking out against this insanity? They're not getting paid to do it. Okay? Especially not the poor case managers from various different departments from just about every single state in the union, including mine. Okay? It's not biased just because they tell you you're wrong. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Just because someone holds a different opinion from you does not make them biased. The evidence, and no, I don't mean you're cooked up, vague. I don't even know what the hell that is supposed to be, but somewhere Ross Perot is like hyperspeed turning in his grave. You cannot say that those studies hold weight against current medical practice. You can't. You can't. None of the controls are there. Nor are these studies put up to the same level of scrutiny as any other single, actually correctly conducted clinical study is put up to. You have no control parameters. You cannot prove in any way, shape, or form that that device is providing a benefit that will actually benefit the person long after they're off the device. In fact, that is why you argue vehemently that they have to be stuck on this torture device for the rest of their lives. Proper medicine, especially in regards to this particular area, would be finding out what the problem is, what's triggering the behavior. And I don't mean the ABA you assume majorly incorrectly, You start from, as the Bible says, the true fount of wisdom, of understanding that you do not know a damn thing. And you start from there. Okay? And when you find the root cause of any problem and you address it appropriately, wouldn't you know it? Although the behavior does not disappear forever, because no treatment program, no matter how good, can do that. Sorry, folks, but we need to talk about reality, not the crap that they peddle every godforsaken April. That means you can bring the most problematic parts of our diagnosis down to a baseline so that we're able to function and interact with others and do what we need to do to survive. Okay? It's not biased. That's the real science. Okay? Some of it's bad science. I'll give you that. ABA should have been goddamn either way massively overhauled or done away with a long damn time ago. And every single last one of us who've been in this fight knows that. We've studied it within an inch of our lives, and some of us probably, when we go to sleep at night, can still see the text of those ABA textbooks behind our eyelids as we try to sleep at night, all right? You can't just scream you are biased every single time somebody gets up there and proves you wrong. Okay? And let me bring up another point before we close out on this one. You can't scream bias and scream those bloody advocates who just don't understand what we need to torture them because they don't know what's good for them. It's not an argument. When literally all of medical science stands as a solid wall against you, and their data, research, and we'll just call it, with their receipts have receipts, and those receipts have receipts. That's not bias. That's not just us advocates just advocating for positive behavioral supports and that, but we just don't understand what works and we've never been as severe as those kids. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. I have put holes through walls, doors, I've dented floors. I have, at one point during a major meltdown, been able to pick up, literally because I inherited from uncle and aunt, a couch that was one of those heavy son of a bitch couches from the 80s, threw it half away across the room and so hard into the wall that it gave a little. Me, scrawny ass, barely there, muscle, me. Okay? Don't start with you don't know. No, JRC, it is you who do not know. It is you who practice dangerous pseudoscience. Science that does not hold up whatsoever, even at the slightest bit of scrutiny. Okay? When literally the entirety of the medical model, with all its issues and its major ethic violations, like Yale, they stand against you, and literally all the rest of planet Earth and all of our receipts stands against you. That's not just a few advocates that just want positive behavioral reinforcement no matter what. This is the entirety of the system standing against you. Do you not understand that? Let me make another point. With literally all of modern medicine within this field stands against you, that's not bias. That is the consensus of the entirety of that field. Okay? It's not bias, it's consensus. What you do is pseudoscience, JRC. What you do is torture for torture's sake. What you do does not have any long term benefits that's going to help any of these kids down the road. What it does cause is PTSD, fear, fight or flight responses to people in authority, and running from sounds as simple as Velcro being lifted up because of what you've done to them. And speaking as a person with PTSD, particularly when I go into flashbacks, I can tell you about the particular circular hell that us neurodivergents who have PTSD go through. Flashback meltdown, emotional breakdown meltdown, back and forth and back and forth, okay? It's not beneficial to me in any way, shape, capacity, or form. That's what you're giving those kids long term. And it's going to take decades of intense therapy to help them move on from the horrors you subjected them to. And any of you Kool-Aid drinkers who want to scream bias, understand this. When literally the entirety of the rest of the field stands against you and has a general consensus on what treatment programs should be and shouldn't be, and they stand against you, it's not bias, it's medical consensus. These are the viewpoints that have been developed after decades upon decades of research, clinical studies, and trials that have been conducted within the proper modern parameters, unlike whatever that hellscape of a study was supposed to be from the JRC. We're going to close on that one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do tend to get removed from time to time. You know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and please, folks, don't forget to hit those comments. I appreciate your time this afternoon. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you again here in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.